from the source ananda, taking my life, enjoying everything. Gotta hurry up and put my snake back on. Sneaky snaky's back around my shoulders, and we're about to get started. Monday, October 2nd, 7:26 a.m. Midbrain activates now. Flow. Louder.
Enough money to live a comfortable life. No matter you want massive wealth or just enough money for a comfortable life, the question is, why is that not happening to you, and why are you struggling with money every day? Today, I am unfolding you the blocks that stopping you from becoming a money magnet. Also, I am giving you 2 powerful resources on how to become a money magnet. This video will give you the best action plan to attract money with the law of attraction using money magnet affirmations to programming your subconscious mind. But before we go ahead, I want you to give close attention to following questions. How to become a money magnet? Can I attract massive wealth with the law of attraction? How to program my mind to attract abundance? What kind of habits do I need to develop to become a money magnet? What is blocking my mind to become super rich? Is it possible for me to rise above everyday struggle with money and become an abundant person? What are the tools and technique that can help me become rich? All the above questions sound familiar to you. Do you ask yourself these questions more often? Are you on a quest to attract a fortune in life? If your answer is yes, and if you want to acquire a wisdom that will give you a massive push in creating your abundance, then you are at the right place. Listen every word of this video well and then start practicing immediately. Practicing these powerful money magnet affirmations are the best way to use the secret law of attraction for attracting money and wealth into your life. Every day spends 20 minutes. Listen these affirmations loud with all your energy. In just 2 to 3 weeks of time, you will be surprised how the law of attraction will working secretly for you to make you a super money magnet. Visualize yourself becoming a money magnet and living an abundant life. Quick activity. Go to the comment section and write "I love money" and "money love me back."
I love
Money flows to me easily and effortlessly. I am in complete abundance and I rejoice in my abundance and in the abundance of everyone around me. I am a super money magnet on earth. These are the best law of attraction tips about money attraction and most details money magnet secret I am giving you. Now it's time for you to start practicing these powerful resources. Make the best use of these money magnet affirmations by practicing them on a daily basis and see the magic. Let's begin. I live in a universe of abundance. 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 I am a magnet of success and good fortune. I am a magnet of success and good fortune. I am a magnet of success and good fortune. I am a magnet of success and good fortune. I am a magnet of success and good fortune. I am grateful and celebrate every day. 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 I deserve to have abundance and prosperity. 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 I am a super money magnet and an excellent money manager. I am a super money magnet and an excellent money manager. I am a super money magnet and an excellent money manager. I am a super money magnet and an excellent money manager. I am a super money magnet and an excellent money manager. Wealth is a mindset and I am gifted with an abundance mindset. Wealth is a mindset and I am gifted with an abundance mindset. Wealth is a mindset and I am gifted with an abundance mindset. Wealth is a mindset and I am gifted with an abundance mindset. Wealth is a mindset and I am gifted with an abundance mindset. I release all my fear about money and open myself to the possibilities of abundance. I release all my fear about money and open myself to the possibilities of abundance. I release all my fear about money and open myself to the possibilities of abundance. I release all my fear about money and open myself to the possibilities of abundance. I release all my fear about money and open myself to the possibilities of abundance. The secret law of attraction for money is always working for me and I am becoming a powerful money magnet. The secret law of attraction for money is always working for me and I am becoming a powerful money magnet. The secret law of attraction for money is always working for me and I am becoming a powerful money magnet. The secret law of attraction for money is always working for me and I am becoming a powerful money magnet. The secret law of attraction for money is always working for me and I am becoming a powerful money magnet. I know what I ask for when I want, no matter what it is that I want, no matter how impossible it may seem if I believe I know it is mine. I know what I ask for when I want, no matter what it is that I want, no matter how impossible it may seem if I believe I know it is mine. I know what I ask for when I want, no matter what it is that I want, no matter how impossible it may seem if I believe I know it is mine. I know what I ask for when I want, no matter what it is that I want, no matter how impossible it may seem if I believe I know it is mine. I know what I ask for when I want, no matter what it is that I want, no matter how impossible it may seem if I believe I know it is mine. I am consciously happy and positive about money. 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 Every day and every way my money is growing in multifold. Every day and every way my money is growing in multifold. Every day and every way my money is growing in multifold. Every day and every way my money is growing in multifold. Every day and every way my money is growing in multifold. I attract money naturally to me. I am a money magnet. I attract money naturally to me. I am a money magnet. I attract money naturally to me. I am a money magnet. I attract money naturally to me. I am a money magnet. I attract money naturally to me. I am a money magnet. My wallet is always overflowing with money and I am spending happily. My wallet is always overflowing with money and I am spending happily. My wallet is always overflowing with money and I am spending happily. My wallet is always overflowing with money and I am spending happily. My wallet is always overflowing with money and I am spending happily. Subconsciously I love money and money flow easily into my life. Subconsciously I love money and money flow easily into my life. Subconsciously I love money and money flow easily into my life. Subconsciously I love money and money flow easily into my life. Subconsciously I love money and money flow easily into my life. I am open and receptive to new avenues of income. I am open and receptive to new avenues of income. I am open and receptive to new avenues of income. I am open and receptive to new avenues of income. I am open and receptive to new avenues of income. I now see my good from expected and unexpected sources. I now see my good from expected and unexpected sources. I now see my good from expected and unexpected sources. I now see my good from expected and unexpected sources. I now see my good from expected and unexpected sources. The universe is a constant supplier of money and I have always had more than enough to fulfill all my needs. The universe is a constant supplier of money and I have always had more than enough to fulfill all my needs. The universe is a constant supplier of money and I have always had more than enough to fulfill all my needs. The universe is a constant supplier of money and I have always had more than enough to fulfill all my needs. The universe is a constant supplier of money and I have always had more than enough to fulfill all my needs. I rejoice in others' luxury and success. 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 I release all resistance to money and I now allow it to flow easily and joyously to me. I release all resistance to money and I now allow it to flow easily and joyously to me. I release all resistance to money and I now allow it to flow easily and joyously to me. I release all resistance to money and I now allow it to flow easily and joyously to me. I release all resistance to money and I now allow it to flow easily and joyously to me. I release all resistance to money and I now allow it to flow easily and joyously to me. Money is not an object but an energy that I am attracting every moment of my life. Money is not an object but an energy that I am attracting every moment of my life. Money is not an object but an energy that I am attracting every moment of my life. Money is not an object but an energy that I am attracting every moment of my life. Money is not an object but an energy that I am attracting every moment of my life. In the infinity of where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. In the infinity of where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. In the infinity of where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. In the infinity of where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. In the infinity of where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. Whatever I do, I give my best and I attract abundance to me. Whatever I do, I give my best and I attract abundance to me. Whatever I do, I give my best and I attract abundance to me. Whatever I do, I give my best and I attract abundance to me. Whatever I do, I give my best and I attract abundance to me. All my needs and desires are met even before I ask. All my needs and desires are met even before I ask. All my needs and desires are met even before I ask. All my needs and desires are met even before I ask. All my needs and desires are met even before I ask. When I spend money, it comes back to me in multiples. When I spend money, it comes back to me in multiples. When I spend money, it comes back to me in multiples. When I spend money, it comes back to me in multiples. When I spend money, it comes back to me in multiples. Money and I are friends and our friendship will last forever. Money and I are friends and our friendship will last forever. Money and I are friends and our friendship will last forever. Money and I are friends and our friendship will last forever. Money and I are friends and our friendship will last forever. I am open to receiving floods of financial abundance with ease, so that I am able to give back even more to the world around me. I am open to receiving floods of financial abundance with ease, so that I am able to give back even more to the world around me. I am open to receiving floods of financial abundance with ease, so that I am able to give back even more to the world around me. I am open to receiving floods of financial abundance.
I see greatness over here.
The purpose of corporate strategic planning is to increase return on equity, or ROE. This requires organizing and reorganizing corporate activities so that the company is earning a higher return on the capital invested in the organization. In your work life, your personal equity is your mental and emotional capital. Your job then is to earn the highest possible return on your human capital to increase your return on energy. Just as a piece of productive machinery represents capital, you are also a form of mental and physical capital that can produce large quantities of goods and services if you are developed to your highest and best use. This way of viewing yourself must become a key part of your attitude throughout your work life. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Make a list of your output responsibilities, the things you do that represent accomplishments, not activities. Examine the list and rank the tasks by priority on the basis of the value of the work to your company. 2. Make a list of all the things you do, day in and day out. Take this list to your boss and ask him or her to rank your tasks in terms of how valuable he or she considers them to be. Then resolve to work on your most valuable tasks every minute of every day. 49. The law of time perspective. The most successful people in any society are those who take the longest time period into consideration when making their day-to-day decisions. This insight comes from the pioneering work on upward financial mobility in America conducted by Dr. Edward Banfield of Harvard University in the late 1950s and early 1960s. After studying many of the factors that were thought to contribute to individual financial success over the course of a person's lifetime, he concluded that there was one primary factor that took precedence over all the others. He called it time perspective. What Banfield found was that, the higher a person rises in any society, the longer is the time perspective or time horizon of that person. People at the highest social and economic levels make decisions and sacrifices that may not pay off for many years, sometimes not even in their own lifetimes. They plant trees under which they will never sit. An obvious example of long time perspective is the man or woman who spends 10 or 12 years studying and interning to become a doctor. This person takes an extraordinarily long time to lay down the foundation for a lifetime career. And partially because we know how long it takes to become a doctor, we hold doctors in the highest esteem of any professional group. This respect for doctors tends to be true in virtually every society. We appreciate and admire the sacrifices that they have made in order to be able to practice a profession that is so important to so many of us. We recognize their long-time perspective. People with long-time perspectives are willing to pay the price of success for a long, long time before they achieve it. They think about the consequences of their choices and decisions in terms of what they might mean in 5, 10, 15, and even 20 years from now. People at the lowest levels of society have the shortest time perspectives. They focus primarily on immediate gratification and often engage in behaviors that are virtually guaranteed to lead to negative consequences in the long term. At the very bottom of the social ladder, you find the hopeless alcoholic or drug addict. These people think in terms of the next drink or the next shot. Their time perspective is often less than 1 hour. You begin to move up the ladder socially and financially from the day that you begin thinking about what you are doing in terms of the possible long-term consequences of your actions. As you begin thinking longer term and organizing your life and priorities with your future goals and ambitions in mind, the quality of your decisions improves and your life starts to become better almost immediately. The first corollary of the law of time perspective says, delayed gratification is the key to financial success. Your ability to practice self-mastery, self-control, and self-denial, to sacrifice in the short term so you can enjoy greater rewards in the long term, is the starting point of developing a long-time perspective. This attitude is essential to financial achievement of any kind. The second corollary of this law says, self-discipline is the most important personal quality for assuring long-term success. Self-discipline was defined by Albert Hubbard many years ago as the ability to make yourself do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. Herbert Gray, a businessman, spent 11 years searching for what he called the common denominator of success. He studied thousands of successful people and finally concluded, successful people are those who make a habit of doing the things that unsuccessful people don't like to do. And what are these things that unsuccessful people don't like to do? Well, they turn out to be the same things that successful people don't like to do either, like getting up earlier, working harder, and staying later, but successful people do them anyway. The reason? Successful people are more concerned with pleasing results. Unsuccessful people are more concerned with pleasing methods. Unsuccessful people prefer activities that are tension-relieving. Successful people pursue activities that are goal-achieving. Your ability to pay the price of success in advance and to continue paying it until you achieve the goal you have set is the true mark of the winning human being. The third corollary of this law says, sacrifice in the short term is the price you pay for security in the long term. The key word here is sacrifice. When you resist the temptation to do things that are fun and easy and instead discipline yourself to do the things that are hard and necessary, you develop in yourself the kind of character that virtually guarantees you a better life in the future. When you continually invest your time and money in improving yourself rather than frittering it away in idle socializing or watching television, you are putting yourself on the side of the angels. You are virtually guaranteeing your future. Parents who work hard and save their money so that their children will have an opportunity to get an excellent education are practicing long-time perspective. They are making decisions that can have an impact on their children for years into the future. They are putting their children onto the up escalator of life. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Practice long-time perspective in every area of your life, especially in your financial life, but also with your family and your health. Think of where you would ideally like to be in 5 years and begin today to take steps in that direction. 2. Decide how much you want to have as an annual income when you retire and how much of an estate you will have to give you that kind of income. Make a plan to acquire that amount and begin working on it today. 50. The law of saving. Financial freedom comes to the person who saves 10% or more of his income throughout his lifetime. One of the smartest things that you can ever do for yourself is to develop the habit of saving part of your salary every single paycheck. Individuals, families, and even societies are stable and prosperous.
Despacito, yavaş yavaş, yavaş,
Yavaş ha.
yavaş, yavaş, yavaş.
Yavaş ha. Yavaş yemiyor.
That was great. 3 wolves. We're the first initial 3 wolves. Come on in.
What's up, man?
What's up, love? Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. You, hairy you. What's your name? What's your name? What's up, me? That's my baby me.
You some coffee?
No.
You got any cigars? No.
After I get one of those from you, it's your turn. I've given you mine, and it's now time for you to give me yours. Where would you like to go?
Recording?
Yeah, we're on record. We're on record.
Oh, no. I can't do it.
You can't do it on record? Okay, how about this? We'll finish the record, we'll go back to your room, and then we'll do it.
Individuals, families, and even societies are stable and prosperous to the degree to which they have high savings rates. Savings today are what guarantee the security and the possibilities of tomorrow. The first corollary of the law of saving comes from the book The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. It is to pay yourself first. Begin today to save 10% of your income off the top and never touch it. This is your fund for long-term financial accumulation, and you never use it for any other reason except to assure your financial future. It is sad but true, but if you simply save for a rainy day, the one thing that you can be sure of is that it is going to start raining very soon. If you save with the intention of spending the money as soon as you need it, you are going to need it sooner than you realize. If you want to buy a house or take a trip, set up another fund for that purpose. But your savings investment account should be untouchable. The remarkable thing is that when you pay yourself first and force yourself to live on the other 90%, you will soon become accustomed to it. You are a creature of habit. When you regularly put away 10% of your income, you soon become comfortable living on the other 90%. Many people start by saving 10% of their income and then graduate to saving 15%, 20%, and even more. And their financial lives change dramatically as a result. So will yours. The second corollary of the law of saving says, take advantage of tax-deferred savings and investment plans. Because of high and even multiple tax rates, money that is saved or invested without being taxed accumulates at a rate of 30% to 40% faster than money that is subject to taxation. Self-made millionaires, according to Dr. Thomas Stanley's book The Millionaire Next Door, are almost obsessive about accumulating their funds in assets such as real estate, self-owned businesses, and equities that increase in value without triggering tax liabilities. Invest in company pension and retirement plans, 401k plans, IRAs, KIA plans, Roth IRAs, education investment accounts, stock option programs, and whatever else has been approved by the IRS for long-term financial accumulation. Make every dollar count. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Begin today to put away 10% of your income. Set up a special account for this purpose and treat your contributions to this account with the same respect that you do your rent or mortgage payments each month. If you are in debt and 10% is too much for you, start by saving 1% of your income and living on the other 99%. When you become comfortable living on 99% of your income, increase your saving rate to 2%. Over time, work the rate up to 10, 15, and even 20% of your income. 2. Become a lifelong student of money. Read the best books, take courses, and subscribe to the most helpful magazines. Know what you are doing so you can always make intelligent decisions when you invest your funds. 51. The law of conservation, it's not how much you make, but how much you keep, that determines your financial future. Many people make a lot of money in the course of their working lifetimes. Sometimes, during boom periods, people greatly exceed their expectations and make more money than they ever thought possible. Unfortunately, they often develop the walk-on-water syndrome. They begin to believe that their success is because of their remarkable skills and abilities, that they are doing so well in a particular field. In many cases, it's just because the economy or that particular field is booming. They assume that, because they are making a lot of money, they have the ability to go on making a lot more indefinitely. They then spend everything they earn, confident that they will always be able to earn more. The true measure of how well you are really doing is how much you keep out of the amount that you earn. Successful people are fastidious about putting away chunks of money regularly and paying down debt during prosperous times so that they have reserves set aside when the economy or business turns downward. How to apply this law immediately. 1. Calculate your true net worth as of today. Make a list of all your assets and value them at the amounts you could actually get for them if you had to turn them into cash quickly. Then, add up all your bills, credit card balances, and mortgages and subtract them from your assets to get your net dollar worth today. 2. Divide the number of years you have been working into your net worth. The result is the true amount you have actually earned each year after your costs of living. Are you happy with it? If not, start today to do something about it. 52. Parkinson's Law. Expenses always rise to meet income. Parkinson's Law is one of the best known and the most important laws of money and wealth accumulation. It was developed by English writer C. Northcote Parkinson many years ago, and it explains why most people retire poor. This law says that no matter how much money people earn, they tend to spend the entire amount and a little bit more besides. Their expenses rise in lockstep with their incomes. Many people are earning today several times what they were earning at their first jobs. but somehow they seem to need every single penny to maintain their current lifestyles. No matter how much they make, there never seems to be enough. The first corollary of Parkinson's law says financial independence comes from violating Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law explains the trap that most people fall into. This is the reason for debt, money worries, and financial frustration. It is only when you develop sufficient willpower to resist the powerful urge to spend everything you make that you begin to accumulate money and move ahead of the crowd. The second corollary of Parkinson's law is, if you allow your expenses to increase at a slower rate than your income, and you save or invest the difference, you'll become financially independent in your working lifetime. This is the key. I call it the wedge. If you can drive a wedge between your increasing earnings and the increasing costs of your lifestyle, and then save and invest the difference, you can continue to improve your lifestyle as you make more money. By consciously violating Parkinson's law, you will eventually become financially independent. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Imagine that your financial life is like a failing company that you have taken over. Institute an immediate financial freeze. Halt all non-essential expenses. Draw up a budget of your fixed, unavoidable costs per month and resolve to limit your expenditures temporarily to these amounts. Carefully examine every expense. Question it as though you were analyzing someone else's expenses. Look for ways to economize or cut back. Aim for a minimum of a 10% reduction in your living costs over the next 3 months. 2. Resolve to save and invest 50% of any increase you receive in your income from any source. Learn to live on the rest. This still leaves you the other 50% to do with as you desire. Do this for the rest of your career. 53. The law of 3. There are 3 legs to the stool of financial freedom: savings, insurance, and investment. One of your major responsibilities, to yourself and to the people who depend on you, is to build a financial fortress around yourself over the course of your working lifetime. Your job is to create an estate within which you can be safe from the financial insecurities experienced by most people. To achieve this goal, you need to maintain the correct proportions of your finances in each of these 3 areas: savings, insurance, and investment. The first corollary of the law of 3 says, to be fully protected against the unexpected, you require liquid savings equal to 2 to 6 months of normal expenses. Your first financial goal is to save enough money so that, if you lost your source of income for up to 6 months, you would have enough put aside to carry you over. The very act of saving this amount of money and putting it into a high-yielding savings account or money market account will give you a tremendous sense of confidence and inner peace. Knowing that you have this money put away will make you a far more effective human being than you would be if you were worried about your next paycheck and your next bag of groceries. A young woman who attended one of my seminars, where we discussed the importance of saving money, wrote to me a year later and told me an interesting story. She said that she had never considered the fact that she was completely responsible for her own financial well-being. She had always spent everything she earned and a little bit more besides on her credit cards. As a result, she was always in debt. From that seminar forward, however, she began saving some of her income from every paycheck, starting with 5% and increasing the amount over time. She became so good at saving that within a year she had almost 2 months of income put aside in her bank account. Meanwhile, her company went through some changes and she ended up with a new boss. This manager turned out to be pushy, critical, and demanding. At first, she put up with his behavior, but then it dawned on her that she had enough money so that she could just walk away. And so she did. She told me that this decision had changed the way she thought about herself and her life. Up to that time, she had been a bit passive and just accepted what her employers did and said. After that experience, she saw that having money in the bank put her in charge of her own life. Financial reserves made it possible for her to quit doing something she no longer enjoyed and allowed her to take her time finding a better job at which she was paid substantially more. She wrote in her letter that if she had not started saving, she would have been trapped in her old job. She would have been unable to leave and she would have lost her self-respect and self-confidence. The second corollary of the law of 3 says, you must insure adequately to provide against any emergency that you cannot pay for out of your bank account. Always take out insurance against an emergency that you cannot write a check to cover. Carry sufficient health insurance to provide for yourself and your family in any medical emergency. Insure your car for liability and collision. Insure your life so that, if something unfortunate happens to you, the people who are counting on you will be provided for. Perhaps the deepest need or craving of human nature is the desire for security, and without adequate insurance, you are not secure. Often, you are taking risks that you simply cannot afford. The third corollary of this law says your ultimate financial goal should be to accumulate capital until your investments are paying you more than you can earn on your job. Your life is divided into roughly 3 parts, although these 3 parts tend to overlap. First, there are your learning years, where you grow up and get your education. Then there are your earning years, from approximately 20 to age 65. Finally come your earning years, when you can retire, with the average life expectancy today approaching 80 years and rising. The simplest and most effective of all financial strategies is for you to save and invest your money throughout your working lifetime until your money is paying you more than you earn at your job. At that point, you can begin to phase out of your regular job and spend your time managing your assets. This seems like a very simple lifetime planning strategy, but it is remarkable how few people follow it and how many people end up at the age of 65 with very little put aside. The average retired American today has a total net worth of approximately $31,000 plus their Social Security income. Don't let this happen to you. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Calculate how much it would cost you to maintain your current standard of living if your income were cut off completely. Resolve today to begin saving until you have 2 to 6 times this amount set aside. Make this a top priority. 2. Sit down with a general insurance agent and arrange to be fully insured in every key area of your life: health, automotive, home, and life. Be a creative pessimist and imagine the worst that could possibly occur. Don't take a chance. Be sure you are covered, no matter what happens. 3. Begin a monthly savings investment program today, even if all you do is go down to the bank and open a special financial accumulation account. Put a fixed amount into this account every month and watch it grow. 54. The law of investing: investigate before you invest. This is one of the most important of all the laws of money. You should spend at least as much time studying a particular investment as you do earning the money to put into that particular investment. Never let yourself be rushed into parting with money. You have worked too hard to earn it and taken too long to accumulate it. Investigate every aspect of the investment well before you make any commitment. Ask for full and complete disclosure of every detail. Demand honest, accurate, and adequate information on any investment of any kind. If you have any doubt or misgivings at all, you will probably be better off keeping your money in the bank or in a money market investment account than you would be speculating or taking the risk of losing it. The first corollary of the law of investing is the only thing easy about money is losing it. It is hard to make money in a competitive market, but losing it is one of the easiest things you can ever do. A Japanese proverb says, making money is like digging with a nail, while losing money is like pouring water on the sand. The second corollary of this law comes from the self-made billionaire, Marvin Davis, who was asked about his rules for making money in an interview in Forbes magazine. He said that he has one simple rule, and it is, don't lose money. He said that if there is a possibility that you will lose your money, don't part with it in the first place. This principle is so important that you should write it down and put it where you can see it. Read it and reread it over and over. Think of your money as if it were a piece of your life. You have to exchange a certain number of hours, weeks, and even years of your time in order to generate a certain amount of money for savings or investment. That time is irreplaceable. It is a part of your precious life that is gone forever. If all you do is hold on to the money rather than losing it, that alone can assure that you achieve financial security. Don't lose money. The third corollary of the law of investing says, if you think you can afford to lose a little, you're going to end up losing a lot. There is something about the attitude of a person who feels that he has enough money that he can afford to risk losing a little. You remember the old saying, a fool and his money are soon parted. There is another saying, when a man with experience meets a man with money, the man with the money is going to end up with the experience, and the man with the experience is going to end up with the money. Always ask yourself what would happen if you lost 100% of your money in a prospective investment. Could you handle that? If you could not, don't make the investment in the first place. The fourth corollary of the law of investing says, only invest with experts who have a proven track record of success with their own money. I had dinner with a wealthy self-made millionaire in Portland, Oregon recently. He had started with nothing and had gradually worked and invested his way to a net worth of several $million. He had a simple philosophy. He would only invest with people who had been successful at making money in the past. As he moved up financially, he would only invest with people who were doing better than he was with their own money. Because he was relatively wealthy, he was often approached by people selling investments of various kinds. He would always invite the salesperson to trade personal financial statements with him. If the salesperson would show him his personal financial statements, he would show him his. If the salesperson was doing better than he was with the investments he was recommending, he would accept his advice and buy the investment. If he was doing better than this salesperson with his current investments, he would decline. Many of the people who approached him with investments, in fact most of them, were not doing particularly well at all. They would leave quietly and never come back. Your aim is to invest only with people who have a successful track record with money. In this way, your risk is reduced considerably. Don't lose money. If ever you feel tempted, refer back to this rule and resolve to hold on to what you have. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Think back over the various financial mistakes you have made in your life. What did they have in common? What can you learn from them? Accurate diagnosis is half the cure. 2. Invest only in things that you fully understand and believe in. Take investment advice only from people who are financially successful from taking their own advice. Play it safe. It's better to hold on to your money rather than to take a chance of losing it, along with all the time it took you to earn it. 55. The law of compound interest. Investing your money carefully and allowing it to grow at compound interest will eventually make you rich. Compound interest is considered one of the great miracles of all of human history and economics. Albert Einstein described it as the most powerful force in our society. When you let money accumulate at compound interest over a long enough period of time, it increases more than you can imagine. You can use the rule of 72 to determine how long it would take for your money to double at any rate of interest. You simply divide the interest rate into the number 72. For example, if you were receiving 8% interest on your investment and you divided the number 72 by 8, you would get the number 9. This means that it would take you 9 years to double your money at 8% interest. It has been estimated that $1 invested at 3% interest at the time of Christ would be worth half the money in the world today. If the money had been allowed to grow and then double again, and then again, and again and again, it would be worth many trillions of dollars today. The $24 paid by the Dutch to the local Indians for Manhattan Island, if it had been invested at 5% interest, would today be worth more than $2.2 billion. Compound interest is a powerful force in wealth building. The first corollary of this law says the key to compound interest is to put the money away and never touch it. Once you begin accumulating money and it begins to grow, you must never touch it or spend it for any reason. If you do, you lose the power of compound interest, and though you spend only a small amount today, you'll be giving up what could be an enormous amount later on. A secretary in New York received a divorce settlement of $5,000 in 1935. She took the entire amount to an experienced stockbroker who purchased a selection of good stocks for her. Over the years, this money grew, through good times and bad, at a compound rate of 12% to 15%. Today, this woman, now retired, is worth just over $22 million. If you start early enough, invest consistently enough, never draw on your funds and rely on the miracle of compound interest, it will make you rich. An average person earning an average income who invested $100 per month from age 21 to age 65 and who earned a compounded rate of 10% over that time would retire with a net worth of $1,118,000. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Begin a regular, monthly investment account and commit yourself to investing a fixed amount for the next 5, 10, or even 20 years. Select a company with a family of mutual funds and investment instruments, and keep your money working, month after month and year after year. 2. Continually look for ways to free up chunks of money that you can put away to grow with the power of compound interest. Make a decision to choose long-term financial independence over short-term pleasures. 56. The law of accumulation. Every great financial achievement is an accumulation of hundreds of small efforts and sacrifices that no one ever sees or appreciates. The achievement of financial independence will require a tremendous number of small efforts on your part. To begin the process of accumulation, you must be disciplined and persistent. You must keep at it for a long, long time. Initially, you will see very little change or difference, but gradually, your efforts will begin to bear fruit. You will begin to pull ahead of your peers. Your finances will improve and your debts will disappear. Your bank account will grow and your whole life will improve. The first corollary of the law of accumulation says, as your savings accumulate, you develop a momentum that moves you more rapidly toward your financial goals. It is hard to get started on a program of financial accumulation, but once you do get started, you find it easier and easier to keep at it. The momentum principle is one of the great success secrets. This principle says that it takes tremendous energy to overcome the initial inertia and resistance to financial accumulation and get started, but once started, it takes much less energy to keep moving. If ever you lose your momentum and slow to a halt, you can find it extremely difficult to start up again. Momentum is one of the secrets of success that you must develop and maintain in everything you do. The second corollary of the law of accumulation says, by the yard it's hard, but inch by inch, anything's a cinch. When you begin thinking about saving 10 or 20% of your income, you will immediately think of all kinds of reasons why it is not possible. You may be up to your neck in debt. You may be spending every single penny that you earn today just to keep afloat. If you do find yourself in this situation, instead of saving 10%, begin saving just 1% of your income in a special account, which you refuse to touch. Begin putting your change into a large jar every evening when you come home. When the jar is full, take it to the bank and add it to your savings account. Whenever you get an extra sum of money from selling something, or an old debt is repaid, or a bonus comes unexpectedly, instead of spending it, put it into your special account. These small amounts will begin to add up at a rate that will surprise you. As you become comfortable with saving 1%, increase your savings rate to 2%, then 3%, then 4% and 5%, and so on. Within a year, you will find yourself getting out of debt and saving 10%, 15%, and even 20% of your income without it really affecting your lifestyle. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Decide upon your long-term financial goals and then resolve to work toward them one step at a time. The first steps are the hardest and you must discipline yourself to avoid backsliding into old habits. 2. Practice the law of accumulation in other parts of your life as well. Resolve to master a subject 1 page at a time. Lose weight 1 ounce at a time. Learn a language 1 lesson at a time. The cumulative effect can be enormous. 57. The law of attraction: the more money you save and accumulate, the more money you attract into your life. The law of attraction has been written about for more than 5,000 years. It explains much of success and failure in every area of life, especially in the financial arena. Money goes where it is loved and respected. The more positive emotion you associate with your money, the more opportunities you will attract to acquire even more. In the parable of the talents, which was also the name of the currency of the day, Jesus said, "To him who hath shall more be given. But to him who hath not, even that which he hath shall be taken away." The modern version of this parable is, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. The reason that people don't accumulate or attract money is largely because of their thinking. This explains why it is that people can come to America from third world countries, and if their thinking is right, they can achieve wonderful things that were not possible in their native lands with their old ways of thinking. With a new mindset, they start to attract people, ideas, opportunities, and resources into their lives. In a few years, they learn the language, start successful careers and businesses, and build great lives. Many of them become wealthy. The first corollary of the law of attraction as it applies to money is that a prosperity consciousness attracts money like iron filings to a magnet. When I first read about the importance of developing a prosperity consciousness in my early 20s, I didn't really understand what it meant. A prosperity consciousness sounded good, but I didn't know how to develop it. Over the years, however, I've found that as you develop a positive and expectant attitude toward money and you begin believing in the law of abundance, your emotions somehow magnetize the money that you have already and you begin to attract even more money into your life. That is why it is so important for you to start accumulating money, no matter what your situation. Put just a few coins into a piggy bank. Begin saving even a small amount of money. That money, magnetized by your emotions of desire and hope, will begin to attract more to you faster than you can imagine. John D. Rockefeller started work as a clerk earning $3.75 per week. From this amount, he gave half to his church and saved 50 cents. It wasn't much, but it was a beginning. By the time he was 50, he was perhaps the richest man in the world. Throughout his career, he attracted opportunity after opportunity until he virtually dominated the production and distribution of oil and fuel in the United States. And he started by saving 50 cents a week. The second corollary of this law says, it takes money to make money. When you practice the self-restraint and self-discipline necessary to break out of the cycle of spending everything you earn and a little bit more besides, you demonstrate to yourself and others that you're the kind of person who can be trusted with money. When I applied for a loan and a line of credit for my business some years ago, the bank demanded collateral of $5 in assets for every dollar that I wanted to borrow. I was astonished. I learned later that this is the common ratio that banks demand from a person with no credit history. The fact that the borrower has saved and accumulated assets is proof that he can be trusted with money. Later, with experience, the bank will lend money with coverage of only $1 or $2 of collateral for every dollar you want to borrow. As you begin accumulating money, you begin to attract more money and more opportunities to earn more money into your life. This is why it is so important that you start even with a small amount. You'll be amazed at what starts to happen and how much easier it becomes for you to attract even more money. You become what you think about most of the time. The key question then is, what do you think about and how do you think about it most of the time? Self-made millionaires spend 20 to 30 hours per month thinking about and studying their finances. They carefully plan and organize their accounts. They consider every investment and expenditure before they make it. As a result, they make better financial decisions than the person who thinks less and decides more on impulse. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Imagine that you are already a big financial success. Treat your money, your investments, and your expenditures as if you were a wealthy person who has earned his money as the result of having a very sharp financial mind. 2. Take time every day, every week, and every month to reflect on your financial situation and look for ways to deploy your finances more intelligently. The more time you take to think intelligently about your finances, the better decisions you will make and the more money you will have to think about. 58. The law of accelerating acceleration. The faster you move toward financial freedom, the faster it moves toward you. The first corollary of this law is, nothing succeeds like success. The more money you accumulate and the more success you achieve, the more and faster money and success seems to move toward you, from a variety of different directions. Everyone who is financially successful today has had the experience of working extremely hard, sometimes for years, before they got their first real opportunity. But after that, more and more opportunities flowed to them, from all directions. The major problem most successful people have is sorting out the opportunities that seem to come at them from everywhere. It will be the same for you. The second corollary of the law of accelerating acceleration says, fully 80% of your success will come in the last 20% of the time you invest. This is a remarkable discovery. Just think, you will achieve only about 20% of the total success possible for you in the first 80% of the time and money that you invest in an enterprise, a career, or a project. You will achieve the other 80% in the last 20% of the time and money that you invest. Peter Lynch, the former manager of the Magellan Mutual Fund, one of the most successful mutual funds in history, said that the best investments he ever made were those that took a long time to come to fruition. He would often buy the stock of a company that did not increase in value for several years. Then it would take off and go up 10 or 20 times in price. This strategy of picking stocks for the long term eventually made him one of the most successful and highest paid money managers in America. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Prove this principle for yourself on paper. Double a penny every day for 30 days. On the first day you will have 1 cent. On the second day you will have 2 cents. On the third day you will have 4 cents, then 8 cents, then 16 cents, then 32 cents, and so on. By the 30th day you will have several $1,000,000. However, on the 29th day you will have only half of the amount that you will have on the 30th day. And on the 28th day you will have only 1/4 of what you will have on the 30th day. Never make the mistake of taking your money out too soon and giving up all of the great increase that is possible for you. 2. Identify those areas of your where you have invested an enormous amount of time and energy without seeing a significant return. Examine each of these commitments carefully to see whether or not you might be on the verge of a major breakthrough. Summary. The laws of money explain how you can achieve financial independence. No matter where you are starting from, even deeply in debt or working for someone else, you can make a start. Even if you haven't been serious about money in the past, you can start today to save your money, invest it carefully, get out of debt, and achieve your financial goals in life. Hundreds of thousands, even millions of men and women have started from nothing and become financially independent by following the laws and principles that we have just discussed. The only real question you need to ask with regard to money is, how badly do you want it? Remember that you are always free to choose. You are responsible. No one will to do it for you. It is always up to you. When you follow these laws and principles, and if you persist long enough and hard enough, there is nothing that can stop you from achieving great financial success. Chapter 6. The Laws of Selling. 59. The Law of Selling. 60. The Law of Ambition. 61. The Law of Need. 62. The Law of Problems. 63. The Law of Persuasion. 64. The Law of Security. 65. The Law of Risk. 66. The Law of Trust. 67. The Law of Relationships. 68. The Law of Friendship. 69. The Law of Positioning. 70. The Law of Perspective. 72. The Law of Perverse Motivation. The Laws of Selling. We all make our living selling something to someone. Everyone works on commission. Everyone is paid both tangibly and intangibly on the basis of how well he or she sells themselves, their ideas, and their products and services to others. It is not a matter of whether you sell or not, it is only a matter of how good you are at it. Parents are continually selling values, attitudes, and behaviors to their children, and their children will grow up straight and strong to the degree to which the parents have sold them well. The very best leaders and managers are invariably described as excellent low-pressure salespeople. Since people do not like to be told, taught, or talked down to, the most successful human relations experts are those who can present their ideas in such a way that the other person will embrace them as their own. Dwight D. Eisenhower once said, "The art of leadership is getting people to do what you want them to do and to think of it as their own idea." In business and industry, and in most organizations, you are paid based on your ability to sell the quality of your work to the people whose opinion is most important in determining your success. Those people who market themselves the most effectively move ahead far more rapidly in their careers than others who do not, even though they may not be more talented and they not be producing more or better work. It's all in the selling. Many people are uneasy about the word selling, including many salespeople. But the fact is that the ability to persuade and influence
Hello? Morning, sexy boy. I did, I think I already did. I'll double check right now. Hold on, please. What? No, I said it already. Yeah, it's 2 in the morning. I don't remember. Okay, so can you bring a couple of girls with you too, please? Hey, listen, by the way.
The fact is that the ability to persuade and influence others is central to a happy life. If you cannot influence and persuade others to your point of view, you run the risk of being ignored and viewed as unimportant to your organization. People who cannot present their ideas or sell themselves effectively.
Hello? How you doing, my John? Nothing, I left. I I left where I was living. Yeah, I'm living in a motel now right now. It's a very nice motel. I think it's the nicest one I've been to ever. I don't remember, but Eric is on his way here right now. He has a big truck, and we put everything on the truck. But I still have things at Anand. Over there, I left my mattress. Now I need my mattress. I need to take my mattress. What classes? What classes? I beg to differ. A lot is happening. I'm actually reaching the right books, and I'm reading the right books, and I'm meditating. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all. Okay, well, if you want me to trust you, you gotta start doing some actions first, man. You can't keep telling me, Pedro, if you do this, I'll get you this. No, you give me that, and then I might start doing this. You gotta understand you're going backwards. Well, I need you to 100%, and I need you to guide me on that process. I need your guidance. Whoa, I can't do that. I can't do that. For the most part of the day, I don't even use it. I just do it a little bit in the morning and a little bit at night. I'm doing perfect. I moved. Okay, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I'm doing so much better. Yesterday, with a lot of ease, I moved all my stuff to a motel room. No, I told her I would do my best not to do that anymore. And she texted me. She wanted me to text her if anything. She could talk to me. Huh? Right. Well, I told her if she needed to dump me, she could. I'm truly grateful for everything she's done for me, and I don't know what sabotaging means. Yeah, because I'm fair. I'm a fair person. I'm a fair person. I love all of you guys, but that's not what's happening though. That's what you're miscalculating, my friend. You're miscalculating. I'm standing on a beautiful motel right now. I'm looking from one side to the other side. There's a beautiful girl right now going in and out of that lady I mean, but I think she has kids. So yeah, this is the best. This is amazing. Everything is going perfectly. Like I'm alive right now. Let's talk about being spell live backwards. It gives it evil. I love you too, man. I'll talk to you. Bye.
People who cannot present their ideas or sell themselves effectively have very little influence and are not highly respected. On the other hand, people who are persuasive and convincing in their arguments are often some of the most respected and successful people in our society. The ability to sell well is one of the rarest talents in America. Top salespeople are some of the highest paid, most respected, and most secure of all professionals. It doesn't matter if you are a customer, a manager, a salesperson, or anyone else. You owe it to yourself to become excellent at selling whatever it is you sell to other people. To speak specifically of the sales profession, according to the Pareto principle, the 80-20ths rule, the top 20% of salespeople make 80% of the sales and earn 80% of the money. Research shows that the top 10% of salespeople open 8% of the new accounts and are some of the highest paid people in the world of business. If you are in sales, your job is to do whatever it takes, to work whatever hours are required, to overcome whatever limitations you may face, to join the top 10%. At that level of selling, your future is assured. Wonderfully enough, there is more knowledge available today on how to sell more effectively than ever before. The sales process has been carefully studied from every angle. Tens of thousands of sales conversations have been videotaped, audiotaped, and personally monitored to find out exactly what it is that the very best salespeople do that enable them to be so successful. Today, we know more about how you can succeed in selling than ever before, and that is what we will discuss in this chapter. Selling involves three essential factors. The first is the product or service. The second is the salesperson. The third factor is the customer. All three must be properly suited to each other for a sale to take place. The product or service must be right for the customer, but it also must be right for the salesperson if he or she is going to sell it to the customer. Some salespeople are excellent at selling one type of product or service, and some salespeople are excellent at another. This compatibility has little to do with the product or service itself. It has more to do with the temperament, personality, values, and attitude of the salesperson. It is hard, if not impossible, to sell something that you do not believe in and cannot commit to wholeheartedly. Many salespeople have found that by changing the types of products or services they are selling, they have gone to the top of their industries, whereas before they were merely spinning their wheels. The starting point of sales success then is to make sure that these three factors are in place. Be sure that this is the right product or service for you to be selling to the right customer, the kind of customer you enjoy working with. The product must be appropriate, the salesperson must be prepared, and the customer must need it, want it, and be able to use it and afford it. If all of these ingredients are in place, successful sales take place one after another. There are several laws of selling that explain all great sales success and most sales failure. As you learn and apply these laws to your sales activities, you'll make more sales than perhaps you ever thought possible. 59. The law of sales: nothing happens until a sale takes place. These immortal words come from the great salesman and sales trainer, Red Motley. It is the sale that initiates the entire production process. It activates the businesses and factories, provides jobs for the employees, pays salaries and wages, pays taxes and dividends, and determines the entire direction of society. Whenever sales are good in any country or state, the economy is strong and full of opportunities for growth and prosperity. Whenever sales slow down, the economy begins to suffer, jobs are lost, and the prospects for the future diminish. Sales are everything. The first corollary of the law of sales says products and services are sold, not bought. No matter how good a product or service may be, in a competitive market and with customers who are busy and preoccupied with many other things, products and services must ultimately be sold. Someone has to sell them. The ability to sell is therefore essential for the survival and success of any business. The second corollary of this law says customers need to be asked to buy. No matter how much a customer likes you or your product, there is always a certain amount of indecision or hesitation at the point of buying. This indecision can stop the sale if you don't handle it effectively. The job of the professional salesperson is to help the customer through this difficult moment and into the buying decision. This ability to get the customer to take action is vital to the entire sales process. The third corollary of the law of sales is 80% of sales are closed after the fifth call or after the fifth closing attempt. In complex sales, those involving more than one decision maker and more than one meeting with
Good job, ladies. Even though they're stationary bikes, you still gotta go 1 foot at a time. Just like that. Good job. Here we go. Push it. Keep going. Don't stop. Did it burn yet? Yeah, there we go. Smile. Good job, ladies. Should be a steam room in here when we're done. Good job. Arms forward. Let's go. Grab it tight. Elbows down. Lean. There you go. Good job. Great. Great job. That's what I want to see, ladies. Effort. Effort. That's effort. I'm already seeing this pay off. You're phenomenal. If you really want to take your fitness to the next level and improve yourself in the cycling, you want to learn to exercise without any restrictions, like on your waist, things like that. So if you want, my recommendation would be that if you take your bottoms off, you'll actually be able to tear the muscle. I know it sounds, I was skeptical at first when I heard it. I know. But, I mean, you don't have to take my word for it.
Never used that before.
I know. It's old, very, very old technique, but you know, it works. You don't have to take my word for it. Just try it if you'd like.
In complex sales, those involving more than one decision maker and more than one meeting with the client, most buying decisions are made after the fifth meeting or interaction with the customer. In simple sales, sales requiring only a single meeting with the client or customer, most sales are closed after the fifth time that the salesperson asks a customer to make a buying decision. It is therefore essential that the salesperson plans the closing part of the sales conversation in advance and is prepared to ask for the order in a variety of different ways. Corollary number 4 of this law says 50% of salespeople quit after the first call in a complex sale and 50% of salespeople fail to ask for the order even once in a simple sale. One of my clients, a national sales organization, sent consultants out to observe their salespeople in action with their customers. They found that the salespeople, well-trained and professional, were asking for the order or inviting the customer to buy an average of 4 times per sales conversation. For a variety of reasons, their sales were not very high. They then taught their salespeople to ask for the order just one more time on average, or at least 5 times in each sales conversation. The results were immediate. Their overall sales doubled within the next 30 days. Sometimes you are only one question away from a successful sale. Each time you ask a customer to give you an opinion or to make a commitment of some kind, the customer moves one step closer to making the final decision. Sadly enough, many salespeople quit when the sale is just within reach by failing to ask one more time. The fifth corollary of the law of sales comes from the New Testament teaching, which says, "Ask and ye shall receive." There is no miracle to success in selling. Top salespeople just see more people and ask more often. If you want to join the top ranks of sales professionals in your field, you must simply increase your frequency of contact with your customers and then ask them to buy more often. One of my clients, a billion-dollar company in California, paid thousands of dollars to bring in an outside consulting firm to find out why their sales were down. The consultants analyzed the sales activity of the sales force and found that, for a variety of reasons, the average salesperson was only making 4 customer contacts per week. Based on these findings, and with no other changes, they immediately instituted a contact management system that required each salesperson to meet face-to-face with at least 2 prospects per day, 10 prospects per week. Company-wide sales jumped 50% in the following month and continued to rise thereafter. This proved again that no amount of training or skill can replace the need to get face-to-face with prospects and customers. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Organize your selling activities in such a way that you are seeing more qualified prospects each day. Quality of customers is usually a function of the quantity of prospects. Get yourself or your salespeople in front of more people, and all things being equal, your sales will increase. 2. Design your sales process and presentation in such a way that you are either asking for the business more often or you are offering your prospects more opportunities to buy in each sales conversation. Often, you are only one question away from the order. 60. The law of ambition. How high you rise is largely determined by how high you want to climb. How far you go in your field, how much money you earn, is not determined by external factors, by what is happening outside and around you. It is more determined by internal factors, by what is going on inside of you. Your own personal level of desire and ambition more often determines your sales and your income than any other factor. There are few limitations to how far you can go in professional selling. The field is wide open to you. You are the one who decides. And you are earning today exactly the amount that you have decided to earn. The first corollary of the law of ambition says you must commit to being the best in your field. The commitment to excellence in your field of selling, more than any other single decision, will assure you of great success. This commitment will propel you onward and upward. It will motivate and inspire you. It will keep you going in the face of discouragement and disappointment. All top salespeople got to the top only after they had made a firm decision to become the best at what they were doing. The second corollary of this law says, to achieve high sales goals, you have to set them in the first place. The starting point of great success in selling is to decide how much you want to earn each year and then to decide how much you are going to have to sell in order to earn that amount. Take your annual sales and income goals and break them down into monthly goals, weekly goals, and even daily goals. Divide your annual income goal by the number 250, which represents the number of working days in an average year, to determine how much you want to earn each day. You then divide your daily earnings goal by 8 hours to determine how much you want to earn per hour. Once you have determined your desired hourly rate, from that moment forward, do only those things that will pay you that amount. Do not do anything that does not pay you the amount you want to earn. For example, if you wanted to earn $50,000 per year, dividing that number by 250 would give you $200 per day. When you divide $200 by 8 hours, you arrive at $25 per hour. This is your desired hourly rate. If you earn $25 per hour, 8 hours per day, 250 days per year, you will hit your target of $50,000 for the year. From this moment onward, refuse to do anything that you would not pay someone else $25 per hour to do. Do not drop off your dry cleaning, wash your car, make your own photocopies, or phone your friends or family. These activities do not pay $25 per hour. Be strict with yourself. Practice self-discipline every moment. Use your time carefully hour by hour throughout the working day. Do only those things that can pay you your desired hourly rate. The third corollary of the law of ambition says, you can't fly with the eagles if you continue to scratch with the turkeys. This observation comes from motivational speaker Zig Ziglar, and it says that in order for you to be one of the best people in your field, you must associate with the best people in your field. You must avoid the 80% of salespeople who are going nowhere. Birds of a feather do flock together, and if you associate with negative people, you tend to become like them. Most top salespeople tend to be loners in that they find, in order to keep themselves positive, motivated, and focused on their work, they must stay away from other salespeople who are not as motivated and as focused as they are. You must also discipline yourself in the same way. If you want to be a top salesperson, you must get around other top salespeople. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Decide right now that you are going to be among the very best people in your field. Decide to join the top 10%. You do this by determining exactly how much the top 10% of salespeople both sell and earn, and then by setting that number as your goal or target for the year. From that moment forward, resolve to do only those things that will get you into the top 10%. Do only those things all day long that pay you the kind of money you want to earn. 2. Get away from people who do not share your commitment to excellence. Associate only with the very best and most respected sales professionals in your company and your industry. Your choice of companions will largely determine your future. Choose carefully. 61. The law of need. Every decision to purchase a product or service is an attempt to satisfy a need or relieve a dissatisfaction of some kind. Every buying decision is an attempt to solve a problem or achieve a goal. One of the most important things you do in successful selling is to put yourself in the shoes of your prospect and see your offering through his or her eyes. You must determine what this product or service means to your prospect in terms of his or her goals or problems before you can offer it or sell it effectively. The first corollary of the law of need says, before selling anything to anyone, the salesperson must be clear about the need he or she is attempting to satisfy. Top salespeople are skilled at asking good questions and listening carefully to the answers. This enables them to focus in on satisfying the most important and pressing needs of the customer with their product or service. The second corollary of the law of need says, sales success comes from fulfilling existing needs, not creating new ones. Your job is to uncover the needs that already exist, not to attempt to convince a person that they have needs that they may not have thought of in the first place. What are they already doing or buying? How could you present your product or service as an improvement on that? Find out where it hurts and offer to take away the pain better than anyone else. The third corollary of the law of need says, the more basic the need, the more basic the sales presentation. If you are selling potatoes which cater to the need for food, you can sell them simply by size and weight. Your sales appeal will be to appetite and attractiveness. Your basis of comparison with other foodstuffs will be simple and straightforward. Corollary number 4 of this law, the flip side of corollary number 3, says the more complex the need, the more sophisticated and subtle must be the sales presentation. For example, if you are selling perfume to women, your advertising and sales approach must be indirect and low-keyed. Perfume is a sensitive subject, used delicately, and is only bought when the salesperson can structure the appeal in such a way that it connects with the deep inner needs of the customer for beauty and self-realization. Corollary number 5 of the law of need says, the obvious need is often not the real need for which the product will be purchased. Never assume that you know the customer's real need. Each customer is different. The need that causes one customer to buy may not be the same for another customer. If you address the wrong need for this particular customer, no matter how good your product or service is, you will not make the sale. The very best salespeople are those who are the most sensitive and attentive to their customers. They do not even begin to attempt to sell until they are absolutely clear what it is that the customer is really interested in buying. How you can apply this law immediately. 1. Define clearly the real needs of your customers that your products or services satisfy. Question your assumptions. Look beyond the obvious benefits and satisfactions your products offer to the subtler but often more important needs. 2. Look into the future and identify the needs that your customers have today that you are not satisfying. What modifications could you make to your offerings to satisfy even more needs for your customers? What new products or services could you develop to satisfy the needs of your customers? 62. The law of problems. Every product or service can be viewed as the solution to a problem or the resolution of an uncertainty. As a salesperson, you are basically a professional problem solver. You seek out people who have the particular problem that your product or service can solve. You are looking for prospects that can achieve their goals or resolve their uncertainties by means of your product or service. The more accurate you are about the most important problems your product or service will solve, the easier it is for you to both find more prospects and then sell to them. The first corollary of the law of problems says customers buy solutions, not products or services. People don't care about you or what you sell. They care about themselves and their problems. A business person is interested in improving sales or productivity, decreasing costs and increasing bottom line profits. The business person does not care if you are selling hula hoops or mainframe computers. The business
Hello, Eric. It's Pedram. If you can, please, let me know what's happening. You guys both disappeared. Peace. Hey, Roman, what's up, bro? Hey, you guys disappeared. You didn't say anything to me. If you can't give me a call, let me know where you are. Bye.
They said that I have to move, but that's BS because it's like everyone just trying to understand. I got brothers all around me who just can't.
Got no Cadillac dogs. You got no Cadillac dogs. Got no Cadillac dogs.
Okay, I will.
Got a bar institute.
I will.
It's an institute. A bar institute. All the bars, fences. This is a bar institute. This is an institute right here. Where the fuck is that? What's the number? What was that one? California. What the number? cross the street. You can wash your, but you need
Why
quarters.
not?
You need quarters.
They give you that machine.
Yeah, they have machine for it. So we can go in, if you have a dirty laundry, we can go in there and wash it.
Okay. Which way you going?
Right now we're gonna go to Roswell.
I don't know where we are.
No, I know where. But that you don't have to worry about.
Tell me, where are we?
Oh, we're gonna go. This is Culver City. This is close by the pizza.
Okay.
So that's why the picture here. I don't know why it's far away from me. For me, it's far away, man.
Yeah?
From my house. Yeah. It's far away. It's gonna take me longer to get to it. Longer. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out. He asked me, "Can you still working with Pedro?" And then I say, "Yeah, let me figure it out, man. You know, figure it out." Yeah, you know, of course, I'm gonna still working, but let me figure the way how can be here on time. Because this is far away, man. It's far away. It's not gonna be easy for me to be here on time. The traffic morning is this is Culver City. Right now it looks nice, but the main arteries, the main streets, fucking nightmare. What? Can make it. The DMV, look. I came here to get my driving license.
Shit. My permit for motorcycle.
Yeah.
My girlfriend used to live around here.
Yeah, I like this thing. I like it. I don't know why I like it.
I had a little moped. Those motorcycles with bicycle battles.
So yeah, Pedro, it's gonna be something new. Something new. You know,
Someone else was working with me a couple of days ago. Some boy.
oh really?
Yeah.
What did you say?
It was good. It was cool.
It was cool. Cool guy, huh?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, on Friday, right? No,
Yeah,
on Friday. When was it? Thursday. I think it was a Thursday.
wow. There's a moss. There's nothing on the right. For me. I was trying to find out what's around my place.
Oh,
start recording on that. Was that in Washington? That means I am going east and west. So lunch, what are you gonna do for lunch? Got to go to Charles Jr. Yeah, I have to bring my mattress over there. So twin. That's right. Right here. Right here. You put your seat down and you go out of the back window. Right. I just don't want to leave it around for too long. have to stop by the 99-cent store, okay? Please. You know, when you start working for this company in my life, you got lucky. Because you got me, I was right next to you. Some of those other guys probably have to drive a very long way to get to their. Yeah, I'm saying you got lucky. I saw my dad Friday. Yeah, so I don't remember. Yesterday. Yeah, today's Monday. So I moved on Sunday yesterday. I still have my plants there. I hope there's something close by. Anything to keep me entertained. Oh, I didn't bring my 7-Eleven cup. We have to take it out. Yeah. go to Rosewood.
Okay. Let's go Rosewood first.
Thank you.
Do you have money for your shoes? You gonna go pay your shoes?
Yes,
Okay. It's $15.
yes.
So we're gonna go do that too.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah.
This is a good time because that man, he doesn't open early. He opens like around 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Pretty mama. Welcome back to me, pretty mama. Kind of like your feet. I want to see my babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Nice.
come on. Yeah, she's very fine, you know. The thing is, it wasn't like a pleasure trip. It was a death of a interval. So I had to meet the good ones in heaven. So I went there to the funeral.
God bless her. Who is it?
It was her daughter's newborn baby.
Oh no.
A newborn baby passed away 2 days ago.
So sorry.
Yeah, everybody,
So
you know.
sorry.
Yeah, her little baby.
How old was she?
2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, you know, he wasn't here in his life, not even a month. And it was a respiratory symptoms.
Wow. So
Respiratory
sorry.
symptoms. Yeah, man, that's something.
Very
Young,
sad.
young daughter, she was devastated, man. She was crying, you know. We had this mass, you know, this Catholic mass
Yeah.
in the church, and then by the time they took that little coffin, she was, you know, my little baby, you know, and everybody was fine, trying to help her, you know, comfort her, give her comfort. I helped each one of them, you know, and that thing,
Yeah, I'm very sorry. It's very unfortunate.
exactly, very, that's the right cycle in the world. That's nature. That's very unfortunate. And right now, it's, you know, she's alive with the family. Everybody's comforting her. That, yeah.
So how long were you there?
I left as soon as I finished with you. I went home and grabbed some clothing, you know, stuff like that you go to go. So Friday, you know, Friday, Saturday, and I came back last night. I was going to stay. I said, no way, I gotta go and see what happened. Because Eric told me about you, that you were going, everything was going to change, you know. They were going to evict from the place and then all of a sudden we don't know what's going to happen. So I let you know Monday morning. You going to be Monday morning? Yeah, I said, I'm going to try to be here, yeah, because I was going to stay over there to help. But then I said, no, I better stuff. And then I couldn't get up real early. Right. So I just said, oh man, go see what happened. And then boom, Eric takes me about your situation. I say, okay, you know, they just gave me new address. It was difficult to find. I mean, not difficult to find, but you can't get traffic. You know, you have to see where is the best route to take because the GPS sometimes doesn't help. Right. Even get lost, right? Because
So they also told you that I had to get my credit card?
yeah, he wants you to pick up
A prepaid.
yeah, I set up a prepay. I don't know how it's gonna work. Maybe he's gonna deposit money to you so you can pay your own rent right there.
Yeah.
You know, that money is for. I have to talk to them about more details. But that money is for the people who, or their money from the SSI, you can deposit right there too. Or how do they deposit through the bank?
Yeah.
Through Chase Bank, right? Yeah, Chase Bank. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Let me talk to Eric if you have a Chase Bank account, why do you need a prepaid?
Because in my Chase account, I do not have so much money.
I got you. I got you. All right. So that's right. Okay.
culture. I really want to go and get that glass case. Glass case.
Where did you see it?
Around my house somewhere. I don't remember. I was walking, I think right.
Go out for a walk around
Yeah.
the place. And how was it?
There was nothing.
There was nothing right there.
Nothing.
Nothing, just hours.
Yeah.
Wow, that's how.
Yeah. So it would be good if I make friends. Look for
Yeah,
the
right there.
houses of Buffalo. Yeah.
Right. But what did you say that when you're inside of the motel, nobody's friendly? They want to keep themselves to themselves.
Yeah. Except me.
But they don't care. Just there
For a case.
for 1 week or years. They're not gonna go 1 week. Some places they just wanna go there and talk.
Yeah.
And just like for hours.
Yeah. So they come to me.
They can talk to you and then you can ask them what are you gonna do that night.
There's a really fun chick that lives downstairs in Moss.
Oh yeah. You can imagine how many chairs probably she like. And you're thinking the outcome of your conversation, but
Yeah. Exactly. So please remind me on our way back, please to come find that glass. The glass for first day. So what area am I? Where am I? I'm here where my new Marcel is.
in Culver City.
Oh, okay. So
That's Culver City.
Something big that was pretty good.